The strength inside you. Hello, my dear friend. Today, we are not just practicing English. We are going on a journey deep inside your soul. This is a story about a giant that lives inside you, a giant that has been sleeping for a long time. It is time to wake up. It is time to remember who you really are. We all start life with big dreams. When we are children, we believe anything is possible. We want to be astronauts, singers, or leaders. We believe we can change the world. In the quiet moments of our hearts, we feel a special power. We feel that we are here for a reason. But then, life happens. We grow up. We face disappointments. We feel the weight of daily responsibilities. The magic starts to fade. For many people, their dreams become like distant stars, beautiful, but too far to reach. They fall into a routine. They wake up, go to work, come home, and sleep. They feel like a small boat lost in a giant ocean, pushed by waves they cannot control. They lose their sense of certainty. Certainty is a basic human need. We want to feel safe. We want to feel stable. But when we focus only on being safe, we stop growing. And when we stop growing, we start to feel empty inside. This is where the pain begins. Many people ask, is this all? Is this my life? They stop trying because they are afraid of failing again. They bury their dreams under the dust of everyday life. But I want you to know, your dreams are not dead. They are just waiting for you to say, I am ready. Have you ever felt like there is a giant sleeping inside you? Deep down, in a place you rarely visit, there is a voice. It is a quiet voice, but it is strong. It tells you that you are meant for more. It tells you that your life is not just about paying bills, eating, and sleeping. It tells you that you have a gift, a unique light that only you can bring to this world. But the world is loud. The world tells you to be realistic. People tell you to stay in your lane, to not dream too big because the higher you climb, the harder you fall. Over time, we start to believe them. We begin to think that our dreams are just fantasies. We look in the mirror and we see a person who is tired, a person who is stressed, a person who has forgotten how to fly. For many of us, life becomes a routine. It feels like a cycle that never ends. You wake up to an alarm. You rush to work. You deal with people who don't inspire you. You come home exhausted. You sit in front of the TV to forget your day. This is the fog of daily life. In this fog, our dreams become blurry. We lose our certainty. Certainty is a powerful thing. It is the feeling that you are in control. It is the feeling that you know where you are going. When we lose certainty, we become afraid. We start to settle for good enough instead of great. We stay in jobs we hate. We stay in relationships that don't grow. We stop taking care of our bodies. Why? Because we think change is impossible. We think that this is just the way life is. But there comes a day for everyone, if they are lucky, when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change. This is the enough is enough moment. It is the moment when you look at your life and you say, I will not live like this for one more day. I am more than my bank account. I am more than my past mistakes. I am a creator of my own destiny. Let me tell you about a man. 12 years ago, this man was a janitor. He scrubbed floors. He cleaned toilets. He felt invisible. When he walked down the street, no one looked at him. He was overweight, lonely, and deeply depressed. His car was 30 years old, and he was always afraid it would die in the middle of the highway. He lived in a tiny apartment where he had to wash his dishes in the bathtub because there was no kitchen sink. That man was me. I remember the feeling of being stuck. I felt like the world was a giant machine, and I was just a tiny, broken part. I had big dreams, but they felt like a joke. How can a janitor change the world? How can a man with no money help millions? My brain told me I was crazy, but my heart told me I was sleeping. Fast forward 12 years. I am sitting in a helicopter. The sun is shining over the beautiful coast of California. I look down and I see the building where I used to scrub the floors. From the sky, the building looks small, but the memory of the pain I felt there is still large. In that moment, I realized something that changed me forever. My conditions did not change. My decisions did. I didn't get lucky. I didn't win the lottery. I simply decided to change my standards. I decided that being a janitor was my job, but it was not my identity. I started to feed my mind. I read books while I scrubbed floors. I listened to tapes while I drove my broken car. I invested in the only thing that no one can take away from you, your mind. I walked through the crowd that day. A woman stopped me. She was holding the hand of a young boy. Her face was glowing. She told me, "Tony, you saved my son." She explained that her son had been labeled learning disabled. The doctors told her he had ADHD and he needed drugs to function. He was unhappy. He felt stupid, but this mother attended one of my seminars. She learned that the way we label ourselves is the way we become. She went home and changed the way she spoke to her son. She taught him how to control his state. She stopped seeing him as disabled and started seeing him as differently gifted. A few months later, they tested him again. The doctors were shocked. This disabled boy was now testing at the level of a genius. He didn't need drugs. He just needed someone to believe in the giant inside him. When I looked at that boy, he didn't look down at the floor. He looked me in the eyes and smiled. He knew he was special. I met another man. He was a successful businessman now, but 2 years ago, he was a slave to drugs. He told me that for years he tried to quit. He went to rehab. He talked to doctors. Nothing worked. Then he learned about neuroassociation. He realized that his brain associated pleasure with the drug and pain with being sober. He had to flip the switch. He had to make the to flip the switch. He had to make the drug represent the most horrible pain imaginable, the loss of his family, the loss of his soul. And he had to make being sober represent the ultimate pleasure. In one moment of intense decision, he rewired his brain. He didn't try to quit. He became a person who does not use drugs. True change is permanent. To create this kind of change, you must understand the 3 steps of the architect of change. Step 1 is raising your standards. Anytime you sincerely want to make a change, the first thing you must do is to raise your standards. Write down all the things you will no longer accept in your life, all the things you will no longer tolerate, and all the things that you aspire to becoming. We don't get our shoulds in life. We get our musts. Everyone has a list of shoulds. I should lose weight. I should spend more time with my kids. But when it becomes a must, that is when we change. Step 2 is changing your limiting beliefs. If you raise your standards but don't really believe you can meet them, you've already sabotaged yourself. Our beliefs are like unquestioned commands, telling us how things are, what's possible, and what's impossible. They shape every action, every thought, and every feeling we experience. As a result, changing our belief systems is central to making any real and lasting change in our lives. We must develop a sense of certainty that we can and will meet the new standards before we actually do. Step 3 is changing your strategy. In order to keep your commitment, you need the best strategies for achieving results. If you set a higher standard and believe, you will certainly find a way. One of my core beliefs is that if you set a higher standard and you can get yourself to believe it, then you can certainly figure out the strategies. You will simply find a way. Most people spend their lives reacting to the world around them. They wait for something to happen before they decide how to feel, but the secret to a great life is to master your emotions before the world touches you. Why do we want to lose weight? Is it just to be smaller? No, it is because we think we will feel more energetic, more attractive, and more confident. Almost everything we do is to change the way we feel. Yet, most of us have never been taught how to do this quickly and effectively. We use our minds to create negative states, and we forget the power we have inside. Through the lessons of emotional mastery, you will discover why you do what you do and what triggers the emotions you experience most often. You will learn which emotions empower you and which ones take your power away. Once you master your feelings, you will find it easy to master every other area of your life. Think about your body. What is the point of having everything you ever dreamed of if you don't have the health to enjoy it? Do you wake up every morning feeling full of energy? Or do you wake up feeling as tired as you were the night before? Many people are digging their own graves with their teeth by stuffing their bodies with fat-rich, empty foods and poisoning their systems with stress and lack of movement. Physical mastery means checking your health so that you don't just look good, but you feel vibrant and strong, knowing you are in control of your physical destiny. Then there is the art of relationship mastery. Besides mastering your emotions and your physical health, learning to build relationships, from romantic ones to business and social connections, is just as important. After all, who wants to learn, grow, and be successful all alone? You must discover what you value most, what your expectations are, and the rules by which you play the game of life. When you master the skill of connection, you gain the ability to create deep bonds with anyone. You will experience the reward that everyone wants, the feeling of sharing, contributing, and knowing you have made a difference in someone else's life. Relationships are a precious resource because they open doors to every other resource you need. If you master this, you will have an infinite supply of support to help you grow and give back to the world. And we cannot forget the importance of financial mastery. Most people live in a state of financial stress, thinking that more money will solve their problems. But let me tell you, as you get more money, the pressure often gets bigger. The goal is not just to be rich, but to change your attitude about wealth. You must see money as a tool, a means to an end, not the end itself. To be truly comfortable, you must first change the reasons why you feel lack. You must change your beliefs about what is possible for you and learn to maintain wealth through values and emotions that attract abundance rather than pushing it away. Time is the one thing we all have the same amount of, but how we use it determines our destiny. I am not talking about time management. I am talking about time mastery. You must learn to make time your ally instead of your enemy. Most people make rushed decisions that lead to long-term pain. You must learn to make the right decisions and control the need for instant gratification. This allows your ideas and your potential to reach their maximum level. You will learn to take the necessary steps to turn your intentions into reality with the spirit of action and the patience to wait through the quiet times in life. Once you master time, you will realize that most people overestimate what they can do in the short term, but they completely underestimate what they can achieve in the long term. This is the rhythm of progress. If you want to look at the most powerful force in the human world, it is the force of a human being who has truly made a decision. A real decision is not a wish, it is a commitment to a result. When you decide, you cut off any other possibility. Everything you experience in life, the things that scare you, and the challenges you face, started with a decision. Your destiny is shaped in your moments of decision. The decisions you make right now will control how you feel today and who you become in the future. Man creates circumstances. Circumstances do not create the man. It is our decisions, not our conditions, that determine our path. Some people are born with every advantage, yet they fail. Others are born in the worst conditions, yet they rise up and become examples of the unlimited power of the human spirit. If you decide, you can break any chain. Everything that exists was once just an image in someone's mind. Your brain is a powerful tool, but if you don't give it a clear map, it will wander into fear. You must practice the art of visualization. You must see your success before it happens. You must feel the emotion of the win before you even start the race. Most people use their imagination to rehearse failure. They think about what could go wrong. They worry about the what-ifs. But a champion uses their mind to rehearse victory. They see themselves handling the challenge. They see themselves speaking with power. They see themselves reaching the goal. When you do this, you create a neural blueprint that your body will follow. You are not just dreaming. You are training your nervous system to succeed. Most of us are unaware of the incredible potential that can be awakened instantly when we learn to focus all our resources on a specific area of our life. Controlled focus is like a laser beam that can cut through any obstacle. When we focus consistently on improving any part of our life, we develop a unique power that makes that area superior. The reason so few people achieve what they truly want is that they never direct their focus. They never lead their power toward a single point. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. They fail because they focus on minor things. One of the greatest lessons of life is to understand what truly moves us to act. The answer to this question reveals the key principles that shape our destiny. Why do some people from poor backgrounds overcome every obstacle to reach success, while others with every advantage stay stagnant and depressed? What makes some people's lives an inspiration while others are a warning? The secret lies in the internal power that every person has, but few choose to use. I truly believe that inside every human being there is a sleeping giant. Each of us has a talent, a gift, and a spark of genius waiting to be awakened. It might be a talent for art or music, a special way of communicating with people we love, or a genius for business and innovation. I believe that the Creator does not have favorites. Every person is born unique and has the same opportunity to experience a full and meaningful life. Real change, change that has true value, is change that lasts. Temporary changes only lead to more frustration. Many people try to change themselves with a heart full of fear because deep in their unconscious mind, they believe that these changes are only temporary. They think the hard work they do today will only bring results for a week. You must study the principles of lasting change. You must raise your standards so high that you can no longer accept your old life. When people ask me what truly changed my life years ago, I tell them the most important thing was changing what I demanded of myself. I wrote down everything I would no longer accept and everything I dreamed of becoming. Think of the legends who changed the world by raising their standards. People like Leonardo da Vinci, Abraham Lincoln, Helen Keller, Mahatma Gandhi, and Martin Luther King. The power that lived in them is the same power that exists inside you if you have the courage to wake it up. Changing the world starts with the simple act of changing yourself. But if you raise your standards and don't believe you can meet them, you are destroying your own potential. Beliefs are like absolute commands that tell us what is possible and what is impossible. They shape every thought and every feeling. Changing your beliefs is the key to any real and long-term change. You must strengthen the sense of certainty that you can and will meet your new standards. Without controlling your beliefs, you will never have the confidence to reach your goals. Imagine what Gandhi would have achieved if he didn't believe in the power of nonviolence. His belief gave him access to a power that allowed him to face challenges that would have broken a person without faith. To reach your goals, you need a strategy. Once you have set your standards and you have the belief, you will naturally find the most effective tactics. The best way to do this is to find a role model, someone who has already achieved the results you want. Study their beliefs, their way of thinking, and their actions. This not only makes you more effective, but also saves you a huge amount of time because you don't have to reinvent what is already there. You can adjust their strategy to fit you and perhaps even make it better. In life, many people know what to do, but few people actually do what they know. Knowing is not enough. You must act. Your quality of life is determined by how you handle your emotions, your body, your relationships, your money, and your time. If you improve your physical health, you will have the energy to pursue your dreams. If you master your relationships, you will have the support of people you love. If you master your time, you will have the freedom to create. Life is a gift. It gives us the right, the opportunity, and the responsibility to give back and to share so that good things can grow. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't let time pass you by. Look at your life today and decide to make it a masterpiece. You have a universe inside you. You have a heart that beats for a purpose. You are not a victim of your past. You are the architect of your future. The path is open. The giant is awake. And your new life starts with the very next decision you make. Go forward with passion. Go forward with certainty. And remember that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. This is your journey. This is your time. And the world is waiting for your light. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. I am really happy that you received this message from me. Please subscribe and like so we can continue this journey together in the next stories. Goodbye.